All right, today we're jumping into a pretty wild idea. What if you could say almost anything you wanted to in English, but you could only use 850 words? I know, it sounds like a gimmick, but it's a real system called Basic English. And honestly, it might just change the way you think about language itself.
I mean, really think about that for a second. Could you explain the entire world, all the big ideas, science, art, feelings, with a vocabulary that's smaller than what a little kid uses? It sounds totally impossible, right? But that's the incredible challenge at the heart of Basic English.
So this thing, Basic English, it wasn't just some random experiment. It was created with this huge, ambitious goal, to be a kind of bridge for the whole world. The idea wasn't to make English dumber, it was to create a common ground where anyone, from anywhere, could share important ideas without getting lost in translation.
Just let that number sink in. 850. You and I, we probably use tens of thousands of words without even blinking. So how on earth could this tiny, tiny list of words be enough to say anything meaningful? Well, that's the puzzle we're about to piece together.
Okay, so to really get the genius behind this, we've got to see it in action, right? We're going to put just one of those 850 words under the microscope, and the word we're going to look at is growth. And this is where you start to see the hidden machinery behind it all. According to the Simple English Wiktionary, growth isn't just a random choice. Of course, it's on that core list, the BE 850. It's also on something called the Academic Vocabulary List, which means it's a keyword for more serious discussions. But here's the real kicker. Look at how it's formed. It's built from a simpler word. That little detail tells us there's a real system at play here.
And this is just a perfect example of how efficient the whole system is. Why have two totally different words when you can just build one from the other? You take a super simple verb, grow, tack on the suffix if, and boom, you've got the noun, growth. It's so logical, so clean. It lets you say more without memorizing more.
And get this, the system isn't sloppy, it's actually super precise. Even in this stripped-down version of English, it pays attention to the details. So in the US, you'll hear that strong O sound, growth. But in the UK, it's a little softer, growth. It's a small thing, but it shows this is about real-world clarity, not just cutting corners. So let's start with the obvious meaning. The number one job for the word growth is exactly what you think it is. The act of growing. You know, an increase in size, or in number, or value. This is the classic positive definition we use all the time.
And the source material gives us this perfect everyday example. I'm pleased with the growth and value of our house. It's simple, it's clear, and it's using the word exactly how we just defined it. That's meaning number one, plain and simple.
But this is where things get really, really clever. See, when you've only got 850 words to play with, every single word has to be a total workhorse. Growth doesn't just get to do one job, it's got to cover a lot more ground.
And here's the two faces of the word, side by side. On the one hand, you've got that positive idea of an increase in value. But on the other hand, it can mean a physical mass, something that has grown but isn't normal, like a tumor. And that's the whole magic trick right there. One simple word is pulling double duty, describing two completely different concepts.
Just look at the examples for this second meaning. The range is incredible. You can have a healthy growth of bushes, which is totally neutral, just describing a physical thing. But then you can have a growth in his brain, which is obviously something far more serious. It's the exact same word, but the context completely changes everything.
So let's zoom out. What does this deep dive into one little word actually tell us about the power of the whole system? Well, by forcing one word to do the work of many, Basic English shows us what it's really all about. So why does this whole less is more thing actually work? Well, for one, it forces you to be direct. You can't hide behind big, fancy words. As we just saw, it makes every single word incredibly efficient. And because of that, it makes you focus on the core idea, not just the words you're using. But maybe the best part? It makes the language so much easier for someone new to learn.
And that really gets to the heart of it, doesn't it? The point of a limited vocabulary isn't to have limited ideas. It's actually the opposite. It's about giving people a focused, powerful toolkit that lets them express complex thoughts clearly and directly. So, I'll leave you with this question to chew on. What's really more powerful? Having a huge vocabulary of thousands of words, or being able to express everything that truly matters with a simple set of tools, used perfectly? It kind of makes you think about what communication is really all about.